When you're talking about a country with over a billion people aiming for progress, the sheer scale of it all is, well, it's mind-boggling. So how do you even begin to wrap your head around a plan that massive? Turns out one of the best ways to get a handle on it is to just follow the money. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're diving into the national budget to decode India's blueprint for the future.
And that really gets to the heart of what we're looking at today, right? Is a nation's budget just a really, really long shopping list, or does it tell a much deeper story? A story about its strategy, its ambitions, and its vision for its people? Well, as we're about to see, it's definitely the second one.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into a big shift in how progress is even measured. Then, we'll zoom right into rural development and do a deep dive into this absolutely massive water mission. After that, we'll check out what's happening in the cities, and finally, we're going to connect all the dots to see the big picture.
Okay, first things first. We've got to talk about this really fundamental change in philosophy. It's all about moving away from just counting the money spent, and instead, focusing on what that money actually accomplishes. You see, for the longest time, the success of a government program was often measured by a pretty simple metric. How much of the budget did you spend? But think about it. That's kind of like judging a chef's meal by how much the ingredients cost, not by how it actually tastes. The new focus is all about the real-world results, the actual impact these programs have on people's lives. It's a huge shift from the quantity of spending to the quality of the results. And this is the tool that's making it happen, the Output Outcome Monitoring Framework, or OEMF. It's basically a system built for accountability. So an outlay is just the money they budget. An output is the direct thing you get for that money, like, say, building a new water pipe. But the outcome? Now that's the real prize. That's the actual improvement in someone's life, like a family finally getting clean, regular drinking water for the very first time.
So what this all really boils down to is a desire to get beyond the spreadsheets. It's about turning government spending into a real story of progress. A story where every single rupee is tied to a positive, measurable change in the country.
Okay, so with that new way of thinking in mind, let's apply it to one of the biggest priorities out there, the development of rural India. This is where some of the most ambitious and, frankly, large-scale projects are happening right now.
And just look at the numbers for the 2026-27 budget. I mean, these are massive figures. We're talking tens of thousands of crores of rupees for just these three areas: water, housing, and roads. This isn't just about ticking boxes. It's a huge statement of intent to build that foundational infrastructure and really transform the quality of life in India's heartland.
And of these incredible initiatives, we're going to zero in on the biggest one, a mission that's all about providing one of the most basic human needs there is: clean water. This is the Jeevan mission.
Yeah, just let that number sink in for a moment. Over 67,000 crore rupees for one single mission. That's the sheer scale of the commitment to achieving one singular goal: getting a functional tap water connection into every single rural household in the country.
So what does all that cash actually buy? This is where that OOMP framework we talked about really comes to life. The outputs are the direct work, reporting and certifying that hundreds of thousands of village councils have tap water. But the real goal, the outcome, is that more than 80% of those villages get regular water and over 90% meet strict quality standards. See the difference? It's not just about building a pipe, it's about delivering safe, reliable water.
And this part is so important because it gets to the long-term vision. It's not enough to just build the pipes and taps. The real focus has to be on quality and maintenance down the road. And the key to that is this idea of Jan Bhagadari, citizen participation. It's the belief that by empowering local communities to take ownership, you make sure the water keeps flowing long after the construction crews are gone.
But of course, the story doesn't end in the villages. While all this incredible work is happening out in the countryside, a parallel mission is going on to secure water for India's rapidly growing cities.
And that's where AMRIT comes in. The name is different, but the goal is strikingly similar: making cities water secure. And let me tell you, that is a monumental challenge, especially with the constant pressures of urbanization.
So let's put them side by side for a second. You've got the Jal Jeevan mission with that absolutely massive budget, laser-focused on reaching every single rural household. And then you have AMRUT, targeting universal coverage in major cities with its own very significant budget. They're working in two totally different worlds, rural and urban, but they're united by one single goal: water security for everyone.
All right, so let's pull the lens back one more time. We've seen these individual missions for water, for housing, for roads. But how do they all fit together into a bigger national strategy?
Well, if you look at rural India, it becomes pretty clear that water isn't just a standalone project, it's part of a whole package. You've got the Jal Jeevan mission for water, the Swachh Bharat mission for sanitation, PMAI for housing, and PMGSY for roads. Put them all together, and you have the pillars of a comprehensive plan for rural prosperity.
And what's really fascinating is you see the exact same logic playing out in the cities. It's like a mirror image. You've got AMRUD for water, plus dedicated missions for sanitation, housing, and the forward-looking Smart Cities mission. It's a remarkably consistent approach.
So here's the bottom line. This isn't just a bunch of random projects. What we're actually looking at is a really deliberate two-pronged strategy. It's a coordinated effort to build the foundations for growth in both rural and urban India at the same time, to make sure that growth is balanced and includes everyone.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. The blueprints are there, the money has been allocated, and the framework to track results is in place. But the ultimate question, the one that really matters, is this: how do these massive plans on paper translate into sustainable, lasting change for millions and millions of people on the ground?